We all crave adventure. It's a deep-seated desire that calls to us, urging us to step out of our comfort zones and explore the unknown. Whether it's the thrill of discovering new places or the challenge of surviving in the wild, adventure has a way of making us feel truly alive. That primal urge to test ourselves, to connect with nature, is something that has been ingrained in us since the dawn of time. It's about feeling the earth beneath our feet, the rough texture of tree bark under our fingers, and the fresh scent of the forest filling our lungs. For me, it's always been about pushing limits, surviving by my wits. The idea of relying solely on my skills and instincts to make it through each day was both daunting and exhilarating. Building a fire from scratch, creating a shelter from the materials around me, these were the challenges I yearned for. So, I decided on a challenge. 30 days, living off the land. Could I do it? Could I leave behind the comforts of modern life and embrace the raw, untamed wilderness? The thought consumed me, filling me with a mix of excitement and apprehension. It all started with a documentary. I was sitting in my cozy living room, surrounded by the trappings of modern life, when I stumbled upon a film that would change everything. Stunning footage of indigenous tribes living in harmony with nature filled the screen. They moved with such grace and purpose, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the natural world. They fished, foraged, and farmed with such skill and respect. I was hooked. Their way of life was a testament to human resilience and ingenuity, a reminder of what we are capable of when we live in sync with our environment. I wanted to tap into that ancient knowledge, to feel that connection. I devoured books on wilderness survival, studied plants and herbs, and watched countless videos on traditional living skills. The city felt miles away. The hustle and bustle, the noise and pollution, it all seemed so distant, so irrelevant. I longed for the simplicity and purity of the wild. My everyday life, a world of convenience, suddenly seemed so far removed from the basics of survival. The gadgets and gizmos, the constant connectivity, they all felt like barriers between me and the natural world. I knew I had to take this leap of faith, to reconnect with the rawness of nature. It was a journey I had to undertake, not just to test my limits, but to rediscover a part of myself that had been lost in the noise of modern life. Right, rules. No supermarkets, no takeout. I could fish, forage, and garden. Bartering with locals for essential supplies was allowed. It was about sustainability, not deprivation. Next, preparation. I brushed up on my fishing knots, studied edible plant guides, important not to eat the poisonous ones, and even bartered some gardening tools from a local farmer. My backpack was my lifeline fishing gear, a first aid kit, a water purifier, and a trusty fire starter. Packing, I felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. I was stepping outside my comfort zone, trading my comfy bed for a sleeping bag, my morning coffee for, well, hopefully something I could forage. My garden became my lifeline. Tomatoes, beans, lettuce, I planted them all. It wasn't much, but seeing those first sprouts gave me a sense of accomplishment. Calories were crucial, but vitamins and minerals were equally important. Berries, wild greens, nature's pharmacy. Fishing, though, was a different story. Hours spent casting, reeling, waiting. Patience, I learned, was a fisherman's best friend. Some days were feasts of freshly caught trout, others a meager handful of berries. Nature, I realized, has its own rhythm. It doesn't follow a schedule. It was humbling, frustrating, and exhilarating all at the same time. One day I stumbled upon a patch of wild blueberries. Jackpot! They weren't just food, they were bargaining chips. I traded a handful for fresh eggs with a local farmer, a reminder that human connection is as vital as any survival skill. Another time I used those blueberries as bait for fishing. Clever, right? Well, a family of raccoons thought so too. They raided my stash in the middle of the night. I woke up to empty containers and mischievous grins on their furry faces. You've got to laugh, right? Nature always keeps you on your toes. It's a constant dance of adaptation, of learning from your mistakes. There were days when hunger gnawed at my stomach, days when my fishing line remained stubbornly still. Those were the true tests, pushing me to my limits. But then I'd snag a fat salmon, or my garden would reward me with a bounty of ripe vegetables. Those triumphant feasts tasted like victory. Every bite earned, every morsel savored. It wasn't just about the food. It was about the satisfaction of self-reliance, of knowing I'd provided for myself. The emotional roller coaster was as wild as the physical one. Doubt, frustration, elation, I rode them all. But through it all, a quiet sense of peace settled within me. The heart of the wild. Living off the land wasn't just about survival, it was about rediscovering a part of myself I'd forgotten existed. Each day brought new challenges and rewards, from the simple act of planting seeds to the patience required for them to grow. The garden became a sanctuary, a place where time seemed to slow down and the worries of the modern world faded away. Fishing by the river, I found a meditative calm, a connection to the water and the life it sustained. It was a return to basics, a reminder of the cycles of life and the importance of being in tune with nature. I felt a deep sense of gratitude for the earth's bounty, a renewed respect for the delicate balance of nature. Each fruit and vegetable harvested was a testament to the hard work and care put into the land. The forest, with its towering trees and vibrant ecosystem, was a living, breathing entity that provided sustenance and shelter. This gratitude extended beyond the physical. It was a spiritual awakening, a realization of the interconnectedness of all living things. The forest was not just a backdrop but a vital part of my existence, a teacher of patience, resilience, and harmony. The silence of the wilderness was broken only by the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves. These sounds, once background noise, became a symphony of life, each note a reminder of the beauty and complexity of the natural world. The birds' songs were messages of joy and survival, the leaves' whispers stories of growth and change. In this orchestra of nature, I found a sense of belonging, a place where I was not an outsider but a participant in the grand design of life. It was a symphony I'd stopped noticing, lost in the cacophony of city life. The constant noise and rush of urban living had drowned out these simple pleasures, leaving me disconnected and weary. Standing still in the forest, I began to hear again, to listen with a heart open to the wonders around me. The forest's music was a balm for my soul, a reminder of the peace that comes from being present in the moment. It was a return to a simpler, more mindful way of living, where every sound and sight held meaning and beauty. Now, it soothed my soul. Meditation in nature became a daily ritual, a time to reflect and find inner peace. The serene landscape, with its gentle breezes and calming presence, was the perfect setting for this practice. Each breath taken in this tranquil environment was a step towards healing, a way to reconnect with my inner self and the world around me. The stillness of the forest mirrored the stillness I sought within, creating a harmony that was both grounding and uplifting. I realized that true happiness isn't about material possessions, but about connecting with something bigger than ourselves. The rustic simplicity of outdoor living, free from the trappings of modern life, brought a profound sense of contentment. Smiling amidst nature, I felt a joy that was pure and unencumbered. It was a happiness born from the heart, nurtured by the beauty and simplicity of the natural world. This connection to nature was a source of strength and inspiration, a reminder that the most valuable things in life cannot be bought or owned, but must be experienced and cherished. It's about finding peace in the simplicity of nature, in the rhythm of the earth. The sunrise in the forest, with its promise of a new day, and the quiet walk through the meadow at dusk, with its gentle farewell to the sun, were moments of profound peace. These experiences taught me to appreciate the present, to find joy in the small, everyday miracles of life. The rhythm of the earth, with its cycles of light and dark, growth and rest, became a guide for my own life, teaching me to live with intention and gratitude. In the heart of the wild, I found not just survival but a way of living that was rich, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Lessons learned from nature's classroom. 30 days. It flew by like a flock of startled geese. I learned more than I could have imagined: patience, resourcefulness, gratitude. Nature has a way of teaching you if you're willing to listen. I learned to identify edible plants, to track animals, to read the signs of the weather. Skills our ancestors relied on, skills we've lost touch with. But they're still there, buried deep within us, waiting to be rekindled. Most importantly, I learned that we are a part of nature, not apart from it. We have a responsibility to protect it, to cherish it, to live in harmony with it. Beyond 30 days, a taste of the wildlife. 30 days might be over, but the experience has changed me. The time spent immersed in nature has left an indelible mark on my soul. I feel a deeper connection to the world around me, a sense of peace and clarity that I never knew I needed. I'm back in the city, but the wild is still with me. The hustle and bustle of urban life can't erase the tranquility I found in the wilderness. It's as if a part of the forest has come back with me, whispering reminders of the serenity I experienced. I find myself noticing the changing seasons, the subtle shifts in the environment that I once overlooked. The vibrant colors of autumn leaves, the crisp air of winter mornings, the blossoming flowers of spring, and the warm embrace of summer. The birdsong in the park, a melody that now feels like a personal symphony. Each chirp and tweet is a reminder of the mornings I woke up to the sound of nature, a gentle nudge to stay present and appreciate the beauty around me. The resilience of a weed pushing through concrete, a testament to nature's tenacity. It's a small but powerful symbol of life's persistence, a reminder that even in the harshest environments, life finds a way to thrive. I've incorporated what I learned into my daily life. My home is now a sanctuary filled with plants, each one a living memory of my time in the wild. They bring a sense of calm and a touch of the outdoors into my urban existence. I grow herbs on my windowsill, a small but meaningful way to stay connected to the earth. The simple act of tending to them brings me joy and a sense of accomplishment. I choose locally sourced food, supporting farmers and reducing my carbon footprint. It's a conscious decision to live more sustainably, inspired by the harmony I found in nature. I appreciate the simple things, like a quiet meal outdoors or a cup of coffee in the park. These moments of stillness are precious, a chance to slow down and savor life. It's about finding that balance, that connection, even in the heart of the urban jungle. Amidst the chaos, there are pockets of peace, places where I can reconnect with the natural world. The wild is calling, and I know I'll answer. The allure of the wilderness is too strong to ignore, and I find myself yearning for the next adventure. Maybe not for 30 days straight, but I'll keep seeking those adventures, those moments of connection with the natural world. Each trip is a chance to recharge, to find inspiration, and to remember what truly matters. Those moments of connection with the natural world are now a vital part of my life. They ground me, heal me, and remind me of the beauty and resilience of the world we live in. My advice? Get out there. You don't need to go full wilderness survivor. Start small, plant a seed, go for a hike, sleep under the stars, reconnect with nature, and you might be surprised by what you discover about yourself. The wild is waiting. Are you up for the challenge?